Loomian Legacy is experiencing some of the lowest player counts of all time, and in today's video we're going to be talking about that. Let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is content. There's absolutely nothing to do inside of Loomian Legacy. The developers have gone out and said that after Atlantean City Part 2 has been completed, they will start working on a new feature that will introduce replayability into the game. However, as we all know, Atlantean Part 2 has taken God only knows how long. Obviously, as I've mentioned in one of my videos, the developers lied about the entire development of Atlantean City for an entire year straight. They barely worked on it whatsoever, choosing focus on events instead. And it's funny because Atlantean City Part 1 was actually entirely scripted within 3 months. Now, this begs the question as, what are we to do now that we don't have Atlantean City Part 2? Obviously, as you guys know, the Halloween event is coming out in 2 days. We've gotten some events in between the time, but again, nobody is talking about these events. Nobody is talking about anything Loomian Legacy related right now. And I'm really worried that whenever this Halloween event comes out, not many people are going to play it either. Loomian Legacy is experiencing an all-time low for player searches on Google and interest in general. And again, that is because nobody is playing Loomian Legacy. There is literally nothing to do inside of the game. You think about all the replayable features inside of the game, right? We have Goppy Pond, I guess, even though you have to pay to actually get the cool part of the replayable feature, which is obviously the gleaming 5-star Goppies. And then you have the arcade, which the arcade hasn't been updated in how long? Like 6 months? No, like 4 or 5 months? Again, there is not that much stuff to do inside of the game right now. Also, you look at the PvP scene. Many PvP players have been begging for ranked PvP to come out. Easier PvP prep time. There is literally none of that. Developers have not responded to realistically any of it. And I see all the time people bashing on content creators for, oh, well, you know, all you guys do is go out here and complain and do all this stuff. But behind the scenes, I don't think what a lot of people understand is that the content creators are the people who are trying to work with the developers to get you guys some content, to get you guys some news, all that stuff, right? And they don't listen. And around this video, you'll see some statements, obviously, from other YouTubers, just to include inside of this video, as I have asked them for their statements, obviously. Our mentees read, Loomian Legacy does not show any support to their creators whatsoever, other than what seems to be a forced July event. And what he means by that is, of course, the Rainbow events, the Rainbow Dusket event, the Rainbow Vari event, all of that stuff, right? And there have been certain developers that have gone out and said that certain YouTubers should just be outright excluded from some of these events. So, again, it begs the question as, if YouTubers are obviously acting as free promotion, you know, free just everything, right? We provide hype, we provide news for people that obviously can't look at the Twitters and all that stuff. What are we to do content-wise if, you know, again, they aren't really updating the game that much, they aren't really communicating with us, they aren't communicating with the community, they aren't really doing anything, right? And I don't want to be, you know, kind of egotistical about this, but a lot of what, you know, Loomian Legacy's hype is anymore revolves around the content creators. How is Loomian Legacy coming out here and getting 800, 900 players, and then, you know, LuckyHD, Armenti, whoever uploads a video, right? We get 20,000 views. That is because there are people who are interested in Loomian Legacy. They are just not playing the game because there is nothing to do. Now, as to the community, what do you think that Loomian Legacy's biggest reason for its downfall is right now? You know, why is Loomian Legacy not in a good state? Well, obviously, the first thing is story and updates in general. You know, we don't really get a lot of story updates, let alone updates in general. You know, you can count events as updates, quote unquote, but they're not permanent. Somebody else said, I think the biggest factor is that the game just isn't fun. The only replayability the game has is PvP, I guess the arcade and hunting. PvP is just a pain to even get set up, arcade is just boring, mobile games and hunting is just boring and cost tokens. None of these are fun. Colby, a YouTuber who has moved away from Loomian Legacy content, said, there's no excuse as to why Lemon Train Studio doesn't interact with the community more. The game's already dead. The least that they could do is talk to us some more to make sure they still at least have somewhat of a community. At this point, they're just digging a deeper grave than they already have. LL had like 100,000 players at launch, and it feels like they didn't do much at all to keep that player count, which I do agree with. You know, the entire part of Loomian Legacy just doesn't do anything to keep their player count. They have said, well, oh, you know, this game is not really meant to be updated quickly. It's a long-term game. Well, welcome to Roblox. If you wanted a game like that, you might as well have just uploaded it to Steam or something, right? Because Roblox is just not that type of platform. You constantly need updates every once in a while to at least keep people talking about your game and to keep it alive. There have been other people who have said that the Loomian Legacy community is just outright toxic, and that's why the game is dying, to which I don't really agree with fully, right? I do believe that, you know, there is a big part of the Loomian Legacy community that is toxic, but what creates a toxic community, especially within Loomian Legacy? Well, the lack of updates, the lack of communication, the lack of a lot of stuff is enough to drive anybody mad inside of the community, and that leads to toxicity. So, in reality, it is still a Loomian Legacy fault at that. I'll throw some other messages up on screen of people expressing their concern as to why Loomian Legacy is dying or what the possible reason could be. But I also want to mention Warm Conal's message. He said, players want more story, but larger events disrupt schedule. Ranked PvP has been advertised for 3 years. No incentive to battle. 2 long gaps between game development, but worse is when they try to end an event into nothing and kill momentum. And we saw this, both of those actually, with Sweet Retreat, right? Sweet Retreat was the longest event that we ever had. Obviously, there was a little bit of consistent updates with the entire thing of them adding a new Loomian here and there, but again, it was a really long time period from when we possibly could have seen Atlantean Part 2 come out, and then afterwards, the update led nowhere. They added nothing into the game that they at least announced. So is Loomian Legacy dying? Yeah, Loomian Legacy, in my personal opinion, is just not as hyped as it used to be. We've obviously had a bunch of people leaving the game, just regular players inside of the community, and also YouTubers. We've had Colby, KJD, Pokenova, Flypoint. I Eat Your Face says that he's not returning to the game until they actually just get going, you know, get something into the game that's actually fun to play. Warm Conal's been uploading less on it, Jamie has been uploading less on it, Armenti has just made 4 straight videos that have been nothing but not Loomian Legacy. I myself, slowing down content, not really interested in making videos on the game anymore. A lot of YouTubers are just not interested in making Loomian Legacy content. Literally, I will name, you can name any YouTuber right now, and I will tell you they're not interested in making videos on the game right now. But yeah, guys, that is my video on this entire thing. I don't want people to go out there and take this as, oh, LuckyHD is just, oh, he's back at it again complaining about things. It's not complaining, it is frustration, is what a lot of people I think need to understand. They're 2 different things, okay? But yeah, Loomian Legacy is dying because just not really frequent updates. They don't have a good update schedule. Little to no communication, I guess. They have been getting better with it, but it's not the communication that a lot of people want to see, right? We want to know how things are going with update progress and all that stuff, and we don't really get that. Also, just events. There's too many events inside of Loomian Legacy. I'm sorry, but events are just not as good as story updates. So yeah, I just think Loomian Legacy in the foreseeable future is just not going to be a game that many people play anymore. Obviously, there is a lot of games coming out right now, and a lot of games in development, obviously creature catching wise, that are just going to probably be better than Loomian Legacy. Tales of Tenorio, Fairlight World, Candlelight Kingdom, and as well, Doodle World. Doodle World honestly has some of the nicest developers that I have ever met. Wish does an exceptional job at communicating with people, and their developers are just lovely people to talk with. I can't really say the same about Loomian Legacy. Maybe for a couple of developers, okay? There's a few of them, but overall, I just think things need to change. Loomian Legacy needs to add more replayable features into the game and just get off their ass, okay? Loomian Legacy just needs to get off their ass and get to work, okay? But that's it, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.